Find your dinner elsewhere. These men have too much meanness in them for your delicate stomachs.
Oh, you speak to vultures. You have medicine powers?
No powers. Some roots and herbs, a little penicillin, some sulfur, and lots of aspirin. Here, have some water. Don't be afraid, I'm not here to hurt you.
You have the hand that heals, and the eye that sees.
Of course I can see. I'm not blind.
The eye that sees the hidden world.
You stopped 2 race rockets without even turning around? How?
The eye that sees, sixth sense, third eye, the ear that sees, all the same. Names never matter, and you couldn't pronounce mine, so you may call me the Soft Master. You needn't introduce yourselves, I know your names. Destro, this one you call Firefly, has superficial wounds. He can help you carry this other villain off this mountain and leave me to my work. And take these weapons with you, they are worthless to me.
That's it, Hawk. Aside from the purely cosmetic, the pit is now finished.
We'd better get the cosmetic stuff finished too. General Ironbutt Austin is flying up from the Pentagon for the opening ceremony.
So where are we supposed to take all this ice cream and soda for the party?
Beats me, Recondo. I'm just the driver.
The commanding officer and the top sergeant are standing just over there. Why don't we ask them?
Good idea, Blowtorch. We might make a Joe out of you yet.
You got a problem, Clutch?
Yeah, where do we stash this stuff?
The ice cream goes in the freezer in the mess hall, and the soda goes in the walk-in. Now, what is it you really want to know?
Oh, just sort of wondering if you heard anything from old Snake Eyes.
I thought so.
I wouldn't worry about Snake Eyes. I sent Airborne and Spirit Iron Knife along to keep an eye on him.
I didn't know Airborne and Spirit Iron Knife were keeping tabs on Snake Eyes. Why does Snake Eyes need somebody to keep an eye on him?
That old fool gave us back our guns. We should have shot him right then and there.
We? You weren't in any condition to shoot him back, and I'm not fool enough to fight a man who can move faster than I can see.
That was a trick. He conned you. I'm not afraid of him. Give me my gun. I'm going back and...
There is a thin line between bravery and stupidity. You are treading dangerously close, Fred.
I don't understand. Why did you give Destro and his buddies their guns back?
Ow!
That hurts.
It should. There are 2 bullets in there. Guns do not covet your wealth, seek revenge, or justify their actions with righteousness. Fear not the weapon, but the man who wields it.
But if the enemy is unarmed, why arm him again?
We cannot kill them out of hand, and we cannot control them. We had to let them go. These are desperate, crafty men. Who knows what diabolical instrument of destruction they could improvise if they were driven to such extremes. Here's 1 bullet. We would be battling the unknown. Give a man a weapon and he will use it. We know their weapons and therefore we know their limitations. Here's the other bullet.
Let's do it again, Billy. Approach the dummy and stop the speech.
All hail Cobra Commander! We of the Cobra Youth salute you!
Wrong! A headshot isn't good enough. You have to empty the gun into his chest. Haven't you got any sense, or do I have to beat it into you?
No! Major Blood, stop it!
Baroness,
Billy's a good boy. He'll do his job just fine, won't you, Billy?
Yes, ma'am!
Now, Airborne needs to rest. But you, Spirit Iron Knife, must help me move some timber.
Timber? Are we building something?
No. We have to dig Snake Eyes and his 4-legged friend out of the rubble before they suffocate.
They're alive? The blast didn't kill them?
Of course. Did you think a ninja would live in a den without a secret bolt hole? Could this be it?
I still say it was a disgrace to run.
We were up against 3 seasoned soldiers, a wolf, and a ninja master. We fought them to a standstill and withdrew with honor.
We didn't win.
We might have. We haven't been hampered by this green kid.
That's not fair, Firefly.
We've been in the wind for hundreds of miles, Zartan. How about telling us where we're bound for?
That's right. This ain't no way to treat your Lord Dreadnoks.
You're not mad at us, are you?
What happened at that airbase wasn't our fault. We was just following orders. We rode up the gate, nice and easy like, sliced it open real good, so Corbra Commander and his boyos could waltz right in. I know that was all we was supposed to do, but how could we pass up such an opportunity? We did a mighty job, I reckon, and we could have wrecked plenty more on top of what we done, if that Scar Striker's fuel tanks hadn't blown up.
You're not still mad at us about that, are you?
No, lads. I'm just concentrating on where we're going. I don't want to be redundant or anything, but where are we going?
This is it. Cobra Commander told us to cruise this stretch of interstate until something opened up for us.
I do believe this is it, old chaps.
Welcome, Zartan and Dreadnoks. Some champagne and caviar?
No thanks, Cobra Commander. We came to talk business.
I want you to be my personal bodyguards.
What happened to Storm Shadow?
The Joes have him locked up on Alcatraz. Even he can't break out of that place. Besides, he was getting too nosy. He might have found out something dangerous about his uncle.
They're both alive?
Concussion and lack of oxygen in their hidey hole gonna make them groggy for a time. But they're gonna pull through all right.
Sure, all they need now is shelter, warmth, and food.
Hey, where are you off to, Iron Knife? You're shot up as bad as the rest of us. You can't...
Let him go. He knows he's the one among us most capable of finding food and firewood.
I just hope he's got enough strength left to bring it back once he finds it.
Destro, wake up! You fell asleep! We both did! He's gone! That fool Crimson Guard Fred!
Gone? Deserted us?
No, he went back to the cabin.
We'd better go fetch him back.
Shh. Hear that? Sounds like a big truck.
That's probably Cobra Commander. He uses this section of the underground Springfield to park his 18-wheeler mobile office.
Oh? Since when does he keep Dreadnoks in his office?
That deceitful viper. He's brought Zartan and his hooligans right into Springfield.
Looks like he's brought another guest as well.
An unexpected guest.
Greetings, Cobra Commander. Didn't expect me back, did you?
Huh? Who?
Storm Shadow.
Brother Eagle. Out hunting? I'm afraid the game is scarce today. The sounds of the firefight chased them all away. Got something to show me? A blood trail. A wounded man backtracking to Snake Eye's cabin. Thank you, Brother Eagle.
So how did you escape from Alcatraz?
If the Joes had really wanted to keep me locked up, they would have stripped me and thrown me into a completely bare cell with no light at all. As humane warders, they provided me with a mattress from which I removed the springs to fashion a flexible lockpick. Manipulating the tumblers through the Judas hole was time-consuming, but I wasn't going anywhere.
Getting out of the cell was child's play. How did you get off the island?
I took a length of rubber hose from the laundry room to breathe through and clung to the bottom of the Coast Guard launch. I rode back to San Francisco right underneath Duke and Roblox. When you left me to the Joes in the Rockies, you promised to send back help. You never did.
Things got out of hand around here, Storm Shadow. But now that you're back, you can be my personal bodyguard again. At twice your old pay.
Blast. With Zartan, the Dreadnoks and Storm Shadow guarding him. The kid won't get near Cobra Commander.
Don't underestimate Billy. He'll come through for us.
That fool Fred is leaving a trail a blind man could follow.
He's losing a lot of blood. Each step he takes pumps out a little more.
Maybe if we're lucky, he'll just keel over
It's that crazy Indian!
You're covered. Drop your gun and...
Walk back quietly, the way you came.
Is he trying to psych us out, or what? It's a bluff, right?
What else could it be? Rush him. I'll cover you and...
I told you to be quiet. Now you've gone and done it. You've woken him up.
Those other guys may not have the stomach for it, but I came out here to do a job, and by Cobra, I'm going to do it.
A man of honor, that is commendable. But there is no honor here for you. I'm an old man. These two men are too hurt to fight, and the animal is unconscious. This is murder, pure and simple.
Yeah, fine. Whatever you want to call it. I've got no quarrel with you, old man. Step aside and let me finish my business.
You better get out of here while you can, Soft Master. You might be able to stop wrist rockets, but even you can't catch bullets.
To turn your back on evil is to be a part of it. If you want to shoot these men, you'll have to shoot me first.
Makes no difference to me, pal.
Don't panic. All you have to do is climb up high enough and wait for the bear to get bored or hungry, and he'll go away.
That thing's fixing to climb up after us. The satchel charge will really make him go away. There's enough plastic explosives in there to atomize 10 bears.
For someone called the Firefly, you are not too bright. You set off this much C4 at the base of the tree, you're gonna knock the tree down with us in it. Better to put the charge on the bear and lure him away from the tree.
That was a nice plan, Indian. But the bear's not going for it. He's going for us.
Come back here. Time's running out.
I'm sure you know that both Major Blood and the Baroness have turned on me. I had Blood locked up, but I preferred to have the Baroness run loose. She amuses me. She actually thinks I don't know she released Blood. Zartan and his dreadnoks are only out for themselves. Destro has good reason to turn on me. He also has principles of a sort. Inner conflict. That worries me. You, on the other hand, Storm Shadow, are the only man I can wholly trust to guard my life through these next few days. Because I know the identity of the man who killed your uncle. I am manipulating many threads of continuity that will resolve themselves at the giant rally. All you need do is ensure my safety until then. And I'll tell you the name of the Hard Master's murderer.
Don't move. The trunk's so weak from the explosion that the slightest tremor will topple the tree. Hang on tight. We're safer in the branches.
The worst is over once this tree has come to a stop.
It's not going to stop.
He's dead. You really do have witching powers. How did you...
I did nothing. The only thing that was keeping him alive was his need for revenge. We had bested him in battle and he was humiliated. Vengeance kept his heart beating. But when he saw how utterly unsatisfying his vengeance was to be, the will left him. And speaking of revenge, Snake Eyes, we must have a long talk, you and I, about who really killed the Hard Master.
We made it, Destro.
Yes. Again, we survive. And others survive, too.
Flash said we were going to have all these units online in time for the opening of the new pit.
He must have been talking through his hat, Scarlet.
He was talking through something, Grunt.
Say, looks like we've got some unauthorized personnel coming down the elevator. You ever seen these two before?
Not ever. Hold it right there, you two. You just wandered into a restricted installation. You're in more trouble than you want to know about. You had better have some very healthy ID.
Mine's pretty healthy. Do you want to see it?
ASAP.
I just changed my mind.
Why, you little...
Hold on a minute. Lady J here gets a little uppity now and then. She don't really mean anything by it.
Uppity? Ripcord, I just don't like this tawdry redhead's attitude, that's all.
Tawdry?
I've got our orders and authorizations right here in this envelope, and I'll be happy to show them to you. As you can see, they're orders for our permanent assignment to the G.I. Joe team.
As your replacements.
Hey kids! Dad's home!
Daddy! You said you were going away for a weekend. You're not him.
You look just like him, but...
You're not our daddy.
I am now.